And then I'm gonna lead off. I might be drunk by then.
but I don't have a Christmas game. So maybe start with the Christmas game and put mine in the middle.
All right then. All right, so go for that then.
Well, I had a hard time this year to find a good Christmas game. I found some, but I was like, these were not that great. And then I found actually the game Andy is bringing, and so I couldn't play that as either. So I asked Retro Game Mania, and he came up with a whole list of games I could try, and he came up with Relevos or Relevos. I don't know how to pronounce that. Relevos Snowboarding. So it's not a Christmas game, but it has snow and it has pine trees. So I thought this is most Christmas I could get. At least you also can play if it's not Christmas and just winter. This is a game which released in 2020, so it's already 4 years old.
Boom! No, it's good. It's good. Never heard of this one before.
And me neither. And it's for the MSX.
Nice.
They say it's really inspired on old MSX Konami titles.
Yeah,
like Hyper Rally, Road Fighter, Sky Jaguar, and actually it was really reminiscent for me as Antarctic Adventure, the one with
never heard of that either.
With the running penguin.
Antarctic Adventure, yes, I remember that. There were more than
but
one.
But also,
actually.
it reminds me of OutRun, because it's the same perspective where you are behind in this case, a snowboarder, but in OutRun, a car, and you're going over a track. Basically, it's a road track.
It's like a racing game, looks like, but you're on a snowboard. That's pretty cool. Hang on, but before you go on, I just wanted to shout out. Sorry. Before you go on, I wanted to just I don't know if did you have a look at placing the orders on the link? Sorry? There's a link there in Relevo's Snowboarding itch.io page. There's physical cartridge. Place your order following this link.
I couldn't find it anymore. I think it's not available anymore.
No, but look at the website. They have a load of stuff.
Yeah. I've seen you.
Wow. MSX software cartridges. They have loads. Spectrum software. I think they're all new games. So we found another trove of stuff.
But this site looks like it's made in the 90s, which I respect.
They have Christmas baubles. Yeah, they have Christmas baubles with the Amstrad CPC. That's amazing.
Well, maybe for next year.
€10. I don't know. That's not €8. Amstrad CPC Christmas bauble. You can order them as well. An Apple Christmas bauble, a Die Hard Christmas bauble.
You just found your Christmas present, I guess.
That's so cool. They've got all this stuff for sale. Okay, sorry that digression.
Anyway, this game really reminds me of OutRun, because you also have that time limit. So you have to follow the track, and you have to enter the track, reach the finish before the time runs out.
Do you have forks on the road?
That's the only thing that's not the same. But there's also differences from OutRun, of course, because you're on a snowboard. So instead of you have normally with the racing game, you have like a gas button, so you can drive faster. But here you have like a button where you can tug, I guess, or like an aerodynamic tug. So you're more aerodynamic, so you speed up. But if you press that button, then you can't steer that well, because you're more aerodynamic. So every time when there's an obstacle heading your way, there's a lot of pine trees, but also patches of grass which slow you down, or even sort of lava pools. I don't know what there should be.
Typically Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas, I don't know what there were, but there were like looked like lava pools, and even or real big patches of snow where you can't go over. So if you want to dodge those, you have to release your super tuck button, and you can steer better. So you have to, but you still go forward, and you can also brake by just pressing back, or if you're using a joystick, you can just pull back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically, you have to go down the slope and go to the finish line as fast as possible, dodging all kind of stuff. And if you crash into a tree, you come to a dead stop, so you don't want that. You lose a lot of time to build up speed again. And other than that, you also have slopes. So you can jump over these slopes. Sometimes you need to take the slope and jump over, for example, trees, because the whole track is is just trees, so you have to jump over them. But you can also do tricks if you jump on the slope.
Yeah,
and
I can see you can hold your snowboard with a hand, turn around, flip. Yeah, it's cool.
There's, I think, 10 tricks to do. So when you near the end of the slope, you have to release the speed button, and then you jump higher. And every side you push, you do a different trick. But if you are in the air and press the button again and press a side, then you do grabs. So pretty complicated. And at first I thought, why should I do these tricks? Because they're also pretty dangerous. If you don't land the trick, you also crash out and you also lose time. But later on, you get levels where there's instructional prompts, and they say, okay, do a stunt now, and then you get the ramp. And if you get at the ramp and you do a stunt, then you get the time bonus. So
so you increase your odds to finish it. Yeah.
So at the first levels, it's really easy. Just dodge some stuff, and you will reach the end on time. But later on, you really need to do these tricks to get at your time to even reach the end, or else you will run out of time. Other than that, there's also sections in the track which is suddenly a slalom. So you see in the distance, you see like a blue, how do you call that, a slalom?
I don't know what you're going to say. Yeah, just obstacles on the course.
Yeah, a slalom obstacle, and then you have to go to the left of that obstacle, and then you get a red one, and you have to go around the red one. And if you succeed all the slaloms, like I think it's like 6 or something, then you also get a time bonus. But you can also, if you miss one, then you lose out of the time bonus. So, but it can be all these things in one stage, which is interesting. Normally you think, okay, I'm going to play a snowboard game, and then you think, okay, this is a stunt stage or something, and then you just have to do all these stunts to get time. But this is just, sometimes there's a lot of trees you have to dodge, then there suddenly is a slalom bit in the course and you have to do, and then it suddenly says, okay, do a stunt, and then you have to do a stunt to get time. And that's basically the game. But I found it very impressive looking. I don't know what the graphical fidelity is of the MSX, but it sort of reminded me of a very good looking Master System game, I guess.
Huh.
Also, the sound was also like Master System similar. I feel it's the same sound chip, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't know. The MSX though is a machine that is always getting better and better in my votes in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, and I found it very graphically great, because you see in the distance, you see those little trees already, and they go nearer and nearer, and they get bigger and bigger, and you have a quite good field of view. I never felt, oh, that Christmas tree is suddenly there. It was just a very good
progressive proximity. I don't know.
I guess I don't know how to call it. And so you basically have, I think in total you have 16 of these tracks, or track slopes, I would call them, maybe 16 of slopes, and there are you start in the Asian continent. You see like a little map that you start in Asia, and then you do 4 courses in Asia, and then you go to Africa. I don't know. I didn't know you can snowboard in Africa, but I guess you can. So you have 4 tracks there, or slopes there, and then you go to Europe. And I ended in Europe because it was quite easy to get to Europe, but at the moment when you're at Europe, you get not only a prompt, do a stunt, but also they say do a nose grab or something like that, or
they require a certain stunt.
Yes, and that is quite difficult to do.
Pull off. Yes.
Yeah, because you really have to know what stunt is what action on your button is what. So I didn't succeed to win that stage, because you really need those time bonuses of those stunts. So, but maybe that's also the most interesting part of the game. I don't know. It's because now I got there pretty easily, and I thought, okay. I honestly thought I will beat this game in maybe an hour or something, but until I reached the half of the game, I thought, oh wow, it gets difficult now, and now I really have to learn the game, which is really cool. They have a really good instruction manual, so I think where they my antlers are falling off, by the way. They have a really good instruction manual where they explain which button does which trick, so you can really learn it. And also there's a practice mode in the main menu to just do the tricks. So you have like an endless course with only ramps, and then you can just try all tricks out. So there's a way to learn them all, and it's not easy to do all these tricks, because those grabs especially, you have to release the button to jump high. Then you have to press the button in the air, and then you have to press a side of your joystick. And also there's 2 diagonals to hit to do certain grabs, which is quite intense. And you also have to do them long enough, the grabs, or else they say a short grab or something. So these tricks are getting pretty hard, and I feel, because I'm only halfway through the game, this game could be very hard in the end. I don't know yet, of course. But I really, it's just a really polished experience. I felt it was just like a game we could have just released back in the day, and it's just free, or name your own price. So I was pretty impressed with this game, actually, and I really enjoyed my time. Every continent has its own theme, so there's different things in the side of the track.
Zebras in Africa.
I haven't seen them, but they're like houses or something. The wooden house. It doesn't look like Africa. I don't know why they call it Africa. And also every country has, or only every continent has its own music, which is nice. And actually. Yeah, sure.
I have a couple of technical questions, gameplay questions. I noticed from some preview that you can also
not
choose
really gear. If you start the game,
boards.
You can select a border, and the border you just control his stats, I guess. So you can select, I think, 4 or something, and they all different. They have different speed, control, or jump. So the one gets faster, the one controls better, and the other jumps better, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Different characters. And you can also change the color of your character. Okay. So different clothing. So you can also change the stance. So you can either do normal or goofy. So you can, it's like left foot forward or right foot forward, which probably doesn't change the game at all. But it's just. I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you notice any
those stats. You can feel the difference.
Choosing different characters or stances.
It's not that big for me. But the stance didn't do anything. But the weirdest thing is, because I also snowboard, and I snowboard goofy. So I thought, okay, I'm playing myself. So I changed it to goofy. But what doesn't change is when you they ask for example to turn right. No, the trick is called backward or forward turn, but the backward and forward turn doesn't change with the stance. So actually, my forward turn was a backward turn and other way around, because my stance was different.
That's nuts. That is. My God.
Yeah, but it didn't change. So actually, it should have been changed, because if you're right foot forward, you would think to turn left to do a forward spin, I guess. I don't know, but it didn't felt the same. I felt that it should be the other way around, but maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. But maybe it's too deep. For sure, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, sure. What?
Well, I guess I already know the answer, but
your opponent is the
opponents in this game.
Just that would be cool.
Okay, so you don't have other
like
competitors
road rash
on the screen at the same time.
Game where you can beat each other.
Because now I suddenly remembered what other game this one reminded me of. It's a very old, obscure arcade game called Roller Aces, I think.
Okay.
But you didn't have a snowboard, but you had rollers.
Oh yeah.
And so it also has the same perspective like OutRun, you would say, but with but you were a character on rollers. And in that game, I think you also got some bad guys chasing you that you sometimes had to hit, or they would hit you or something like that. So suddenly I thought whether there was something like that also.
Yeah, of course. Game, there's a lot of these style of games. That's why Antarctic Adventure is also the same, because you're like a penguin running into the screen and on snow and with holes in the ground. So yeah, it's of course.
I think that was very popular.
Yeah, and
it was a very common game.
That was interesting, because I remember Antarctic Adventure also had secrets there. When you go into a ground, sometimes you go into another stage or something. If I remember right, but I'm not sure anymore. But here also there was like, sometimes I took a weird path through some trees where there was a jump to go over the trees. And then suddenly there was a prompt in the screen which said, you found a secret. And there was
I saw that. I was going to ask you
about that.
And
there was a dancing penguin next to it, probably referring to the Antarctic Adventure penguin. But it didn't do anything. So I thought maybe it's just points. Because there's also high scores in this game. And also every trick has a score attached to it. So you could, in theory, maybe play this as a high score game. And other than that, I don't know what it actually did. Maybe when you beat the game and you found all secrets, something happens. But I found it quite interesting what that was. There's something extra in this game. I don't know what it is yet. But I think this game you can play all year long. But now, of course, winter theme.
Yeah.
It's
I like how he's going super fast, like 136 kilometers an hour on a snowboard. But
easy.
Yeah. Also, what it reminds me of, when I saw it immediately, I didn't think snowboarding. I thought, imagine what, hoverboard, because it's all flat. So usually, if you're snowboarding, you go down a hill, but here it's all flat, isn't it?
No, depends on the perspective of course.
Maybe, yeah.
If the camera is higher, then you're going down, right?
Yeah, well,
I never felt it was flat, but yeah, you could see that way. But maybe because you're always snowboarding, you can't stop. You're always going. That you don't feel. Maybe then, because of that, it feels like a slope.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Because in a driving game, when you stop driving, then it just stops.
But on OutRun as well, I remember you go over the hills. You can see the hills. They go higher, and then you go woo, and it goes down. They managed to convey that. But never mind. It's not a gripe. It's just like an observation. It looks good though. I like it. The MSX is a really good machine.
I was really surprised with this game. Actually, I had more fun than I thought I would. Yeah, let's see if I made notes, so maybe I missed something. But I guess this is all there is. It's pretty basic game, I guess, but I think you can really master this, and especially I would kind of like a high score challenge because there's really an incentive to do all kind of crazy tricks just for the points then.
So maybe let's put this on a short list for next year because we never know what to bring.
Right. We just see what we brought to the show, and then there's enough choice. Hopefully other people like this as well. You can just say, okay, just do the first 4 stages and see what high score you get on these 4 stages, for example, as a high score challenge. Not beat the whole game because that's pretty difficult and long, I guess.
Yeah.
Really interesting and mechanically dense game. I thought there was really something into the stunts, and controlling the border was quite interesting.
And I like all the flashing text as well. Keep up the momentum. Go, 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 go. And you're just like, time extension. Tame dog times 3.
Really arcade style. Really, it would be a really nice arcade game as well. Maybe a bit too basic graphics for arcade game, but I could have seen like an OutRun arcade version of this game in an arcade. That would be really nice. So go play it. It's pay what you want, so nothing to lose.
Great news. So this episode we've all brought microcomputers.
Yes,
I've bought a microcomputer too. Brought, I should say, a microcomputer game. And this was really funny because I actually, like yourself, I thought, what can I bring to a Christmas episode? But at the time, I was like looking at some small reviews for the games that we've covered. And I think, editing Rogue Declan Zero on the website. And I was having a look at that, and then I just thought, who's this dude that made it? And I went on, Twitter. And from Twitter, then I found his name, and then I Googled him, and I found him on LinkedIn. And then I found out he was working the same company I work. And I was like, what? So the next day I went on my laptop and I was like, okay, hang on a second. So I put him on Teams, there's autocomplete, and sure enough, there he is. So I contacted him. I was like, are you doing retro games? Are you the one that... Oh, yeah, I've just done a Christmas game. And I was like, whoa, how can that fit any better than this?
Nice. Did he know our show? Or because I got that game from him, the Rogue Declan Zero, I guess.
I think it was Diego who reviewed that.
Yeah, you are playing it, but he also sent this to me on Twitter.
I was playing it.
Back then, he was like, yeah, there's also an updated version or something like that. And he sent it to me.
That's nuts. And so I said, we were doing New Game of Flame. Oh, yeah, of course. Look, I've done this Christmas game. And I said, okay, that's awesome. What is it for Amiga? Yes. Oh, gosh, send it over. And I've got it. And so I've been playing that and asking him loads of questions online, really. And it's so funny how small the world can be sometimes. And just mind boggled about this. So maybe at some point we'll have him on the show, because I said, why don't you pop on sometimes and we can have a chat. He said, let's do that. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm bringing this game from Amiga for the Amiga. It's called Santatron, and it's by Nivrig, which, find out, it's a bit of an acronym, truncated acronym of his name is John Gervin, and
it's spelled backwards.
Oh, I didn't even. It's just. Oh yeah. Well done. That's why I'm not good at puzzles. Yeah. All right. Moment of shame. I'm gonna blame it on the wine, and then retire. I think you did something like that as well. When I didn't even see. On Truccio, it was. It wasn't Konami. It was an acronym, and I didn't even spot it, and you spotted it, Ueda. Camino, yeah, that was right. And I was like, it's Camino Games. I don't know why Camino Games. And it's an anagram of Konami. I was like, makes sense. Right. After this brief moment of self-shame, we can move over to Santatron 2024.